You're listening to The Standard Podcast. Eye-opening for your ears.
สวัสดีค่ะโบสาวิตรีนะคะ This is We Need To Talk Podcast Talk Show ภาษาอังกฤษสำหรับคนไทยที่ใช้ภาษาอังกฤษค่ะ Hi you guys, welcome back to our show. Thank you so much for listening. Guest ของเราในวันนี้ค่ะไม่ได้มาแค่1คนนะคะแต่ว่าเราได้มาถึง2ท่านเลยนะคะขอเสียงปรบมือต้อนรับหมอตั้มและพี่กอล์ฟ2หนุ่มจาก MasterChef Thailand Season 2 ค่ะ Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having us here.
Yeah.
I'm such a fan of MasterChef Thailand. I watched since season 1 and now season 2 is even better and let's be honest here, much more dramatic.
Right.
Yeah.
But we love drama, right?
More.
Yeah.
Right.
So welcome to the show.
Right. Thank you.
First of all, I think we need to say congratulations to someone in here because I heard that he just got married very recently. ยินดีด้วยนะคะพี่กอล์ฟ Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
How is being married so far?
It's awesome.
Yeah?
Never felt this good.
Yeah.
You know?
Really?
So, yeah. In the evening, you don't have to drive your girlfriend back home, right?
Yeah.
So she can stay with you.
I
And
see,
in the middle of the night, you have someone to cuddle with.
Yes.
All good.
Best answer ever. หมอตั้มคะ
ครับ
I think
ผม
you know what I'm about to ask you because I'm sure you get asked this a lot. But when is it going to be your turn? Because I know girls are swooning all over you, all over Twitter. Because I like when I watch the show, I go to the MasterChef Thailand season 2
Yeah.
hashtag,
Yeah.
and they're like girls are seriously like trying to jump you. Like if they have an opportunity, they will jump on you.
Okay.
So when is it going to be your turn, or is marriage in your near future plan at all?
I didn't plan yet, but I'm not in a rush. If the right one comes, that's the right time.
Okay, do you hear that, girls? You still have a chance.
Yeah.
แหมวันนี้เราเปิดมาก็ ถามประเด็นแบบว่าอะไรแบบนี้เลยนะ Usually we wait until the end of the show to ask this topic, but let's get it out of the way.
Yeah.
But let's move on to a lighter subject, which is food, which
Okay.
I'm sure you guys would love to talk about.
Right.
Okay, so let's start with a little game, a little icebreaker.
Okay.
We'll play more games in the next episode, but I think it might be a little fun to play right now to see if you guys know each other, how well you guys know each other.
Right.
All right? Okay, let's start with Peek Off, Naka,
Right.
our newlyweds here. If Motam is sentenced to be hanged tomorrow morning for a terrible crime that he had
Oh my
committed.
God.
And don't worry, I'm not going to ask you what type of crime he committed, but I want to know, what do you think he would request as his last meal ever?
All right. It's quite easy to guess, I guess.
Yeah?
Because I know that he loves meat so much.
Yeah.
So the last meal will be steaks for sure.
Yeah?
All right.
Is that right, Motam?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
What type of steak?
I actually like something very meaty, like sirloin or hanger, because I don't like the tenderloin, which is tender but not that delicious, like sirloin. So, yes.
Now, we're going to reverse the question.
Okay.
หมอตั้มค่ะ Same question. If Pigop was about to be hanged tomorrow for a horrible crime that he had committed, what do you think he would have as his last meal?
I think maybe barbecue ribs, right?
Right.
Really?
Yes.
You guys do know each other really well. See, you deserve a round of applause for that.
That's very easy, you know.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Because we
Why?
have a party together like several times.
Yeah.
And we know each
And
other.
every time he cooks the barbecue ribs.
Yeah? And,
Yes.
And is that your go-to favorite dish?
That's right, yeah.
Yeah?
I love when the meat falling apart from the bone is tender, juicy, and the sauce. That's what I love about.
So do you make your own sauce too?
That's right, for sure. Right.
I seriously, please invite me to your next dinner party because I'm willing to grab all these food.
You're invited.
Life goal. Pick off, hi. If หมอตั้ม is inviting you to a dinner party,
Right.
and he's gonna cook by himself.
Right.
And it's a dish that we've seen him made on the show on MasterChef before. What do you think you're gonna eat tonight?
I guess he will make me the beef Wellington.
Yes. That's it. Because we have a lot of party lately. Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah, right.
Maybe like 4 or 5 times already.
Yeah.
Just-
Is it like a viewing party when the show is on air or just random party?
No, just random party
With the whole cast?
with the whole cast.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. หมอทำคะ same
Yes.
question. If Peacock and his wife were inviting you to a dinner party
Yeah.
and he's gonna cook everything himself, but it's something we have never seen on the show before, what do you think you're having tonight?
As I say earlier,
Ribs.
ribs.
Barbecue ribs.
Barbecue ribs, yes.
My signature.
Because it happened before.
Right.
Yeah.
Is it every single time that you guys have a party you cook the barbecue?
Almost.
Almost.
Yeah.
Yes.
So like everyone in the cast, do they have their own special signature dishes when you guys
Yes.
have parties?
Absolutely,
yeah.
yes.
Like what? Give me some examples.
Ja
Yeah.
would
what's
cook
her-
something like seafood or something raw.
Or P-Bank.
Pibang, yes.
Yeah, he loves to cook meat also. And his steak is really good. It's to
Yeah.
die for.
Don't forget
It's-
that. Don't forget the lobster bisque.
His loves a
His
biscuit as well.
signature dish.
That's my favorite.
Really?
Seriously, I need to go to your party, your dinner party. Like
And we also have the dessert from
Pilat.
Lat.
Nong Lat.
Yes.
What would she make usually? Or she changes every time because she's so good at making
Changes.
desserts.
Yes, she changed every time.
Right.
Yum. Okay, so pick off, Ka. We're still talking about this dinner party.
Okay.
But now Mo Tam said he's gonna ask one of the contestants from the show to be his sous chef for the night. This person is someone he thinks is very talented, but this person is not in the final 4.
That's a tough one.
Yeah.
Who do you think
That's also
he
the
would
tough one for
choose
me.
as his sous chef? Yeah, because if it's in the top 4, it's too easy.
Yeah.
I know. I would say Yuri. Because Yuri, he's really good
Yeah.
at cooking, yeah.
Yes. Yes.
And
I agree.
Right?
Yes.
And they kind of get along quite well. So I pick Yuri.
Is that true?
That's true.
Yay! They're nailing all these questions, Vivek. They're getting all of them right. They haven't even missed one question yet.
Okay.
หมอตั้มค่ะ same dinner party. And Peacock said that he really likes one of the dishes that one of his most favorite chefs on the show had made on the show. And he's going to ask the person to come over and prepare this dish for you. Who do you think he's talking about and what do you think you're going to get to eat?
Very tough.
Yeah?
I don't even know.
It's even tough for Peacock.
Yeah.
Let me think.
Favorite chef from the show.
Yeah.
Chef, you mean chef, not the contestant.
Oh, the contestant.
The
sorry.
With contestant, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna randomly choose
Yeah.
Bella. I think he would get along, you know.
What dish of hers
What dish?
do you think?
This is for you, right?
No, for you. For you.
Okay.
She will be your
Sous
sous
chef.
chef, right?
Yeah.
And what dish? I think, let's say, what I want to eat from them.
Yeah.
Okay. I want to eat the dessert from both Peacock and Bella together.
I can already say it's disaster.
I was gonna say from the way you sighed right now, it's probably not the correct answer, right?
It's wrong. It's wrong answer.
Who would you choose?
I would choose Annie.
Okay.
Why?
Because she's really good. She's really good. Her cuisine, I think it suits Motam so well. So I'll choose Annie to help me to prepare the meal for
What
Motam.
dish would you prepare?
There's the she makes so many good dishes.
Yes.
but there's one sauce. It's kind of like Mexican.
I
Remember
see,
that one?
the Romanesco sauce.
That's right. Romanesco. Yeah.
Do you guys usually get to taste each other's work during the contest?
No.
We not allowed.
We're not allowed
Just
to
the
do
judges,
this.
right?
Yeah, just only the judges.
Now we need to talk about your jobs or your career. Let's start with หมอตั้มค่ะ
Okay.
Everybody calls you หมอตั้ม so it's pretty obvious that you're a doctor.
Yes.
Has being a doctor always been a dream of yours?
Yes, but we have a lot of dreams. Like when I was young, like in the secondary school, was dreamed to be a doctor, and I also dreamed to be a chef. So at that time, it's pretty hard for me to choose what to study next. So,
Yeah.
But in the Chinese family, they want their son to be work as a doctor or maybe a businessman. So after a lot of fight with my dad and my mom, I have to study doctors, which not that bad at all.
Yeah,
Yes.
so you actually considered a career as a chef before.
Yes.
But today you actually get to do both.
Yes.
So dreams do come true. And they're
Yeah.
both so extremely different.
I don't think it's too different because a lot of disease come from the food we eat and come from the activity that we do. So as a chef, you can be the one who can make you healthier and you far away from the disease.
Yeah. You should like open a restaurant that is focused on, healthy eating and advising people on nutrition and having like healthy menus or something.
For the restaurant, I don't think it's gonna happen very soon, but
Yeah.
it could be. It could be.
I've heard from the show that your one of your dreams is to have your
cookbook.
own cookbook, a
Yes.
healthy cookbook, especially for diabetes.
For the diabetes, yes.
Do you still have that plan?
Yes, I'm still working on the recipe for the cookbook for the diabetes and also for the hypertension, for the hyperlipidemia or dyslipidemia or kidney disease or later on. Yes.
We're waiting for that book. I would buy for my mom. Like I think because my
I see.
parents love to eat healthily, and they make their own food. Try to not eat a lot of processed food and
Yes.
all of that. So that I would give them that as a
And I
gift.
also working on both printing and both applications. So wait and see.
Yay! Can't wait. So obviously, as we all know, in order to become a doctor,
Yes.
you have to put the time and effort and a lot of studying time into that, right? What were you like as a med student? Were you one of those studious students who studies all the time, or were you, you still had time to goof around a little bit, balancing both? Why is Peacock laughing? There has to be some juice here.
First of all, I'm not a nerd. I would say I'm an activist at the med school. I do a lot of activities, and I also run for the president
Yeah?
for the Sirat Medical Student Council. And I have a lot of time goofing around and have the free time, like take a photo or cookings and
Partying?
a little bit.
It's normal. It's a normal teenage life, which is good because there's this stereotype, that doctors had
Have
to be
wear
nerds,
glasses and read
Yeah.
books and be a nerd. Like
Yeah, and that's not necessarily true. And you
maybe
could
only the 10% of the
Yeah.
medical students.
and you have to have a balance in life too. You can't
Yes,
just focus in one thing too much.
Yes.
So you're a good example of that. Are you going to specialize in something?
First of all, I have to study in internal medicine, or we call it ayuragam first, and then I'm gonna specialize in nutrition. Yes.
So mixing that passion for food.
Yes, for
With
food and
medicine,
with
with-
medicine. Yes.
If some young teenagers are studying to become a doctor right now, and they're having a difficult time to the point where their lives are miserable, what advice would you give them? I mean, should they stop or should they go on? Had this ever happened to you before?
Yes. As a medical student, I have faced a lot of miserable during the study. But what I'm gonna advise is looking for the future, looking for the thing that you really want to be. You know, the failure can be happens all the time, but you can take it for be our teachers to adjust ourselves and move on to the target.
So set the goal and look at the goal and then try to achieve it, right?
Yeah. Kind of like that.
Okay.
Yes.
พี่กอล์ฟค่ะ
ครับ
Same question to you about being a photographer. When you first discovered photography, the day that you actually looked at the pictures you took and you have realized that, hey, these are actually pretty good and you're, pretty impressed with yourself. Did you decide it right then and there that this is what you wanted to do the rest of your life?
Actually, it's not happened like that.
How did it happen?
My uncle, he has a friend, which is that guy. He's a photographer who owns a studio near my house. And my uncle just gave me advice that you should go and have a look what he does. And then I just go there and then just mingle with them like as a kid. Well, that time I'm about grade 9. So I just on my free time I go to the studio every day because of got nothing to do. You can see the famous singer there, the models, actor and actress almost every day. So it start like that. So I feel like, oh, it's really cool to be a photographer. So you can see all this pretty woman every day, stuff like that. And then that was how it started. And then I studied in photography and cinematography. And I found out I not really like the cinematography. I love photography more because I don't really like to work with tons of people on set, which is so many problems. While I study, I still dreams to be the fashion photographer because of what I just told you, right?
Yeah,
but
the models.
But life is not just like that. So when I start work, I start working in the portrait and wedding studio. And then later on in the magazine, I got an opportunity to photograph the singer, the actor, the actress, the models, but actually not really what I like. And then one day I discovered this, I love to photograph food and also the interior more. Because while working for the magazine, I have many articles on my responsible to photograph, like portrait, food, and interior. So when you have chance to work on so many different categories, then you find out that what I really like it. And one day it's really, I would say it's a destiny. I have a chance to photograph one restaurant, which is a rooftop bar in 5-star hotel. And then I bump into this guy. He's a photographer from Germany, but he lives in Bangkok. And he kind of he interested on me that I'm run around, photograph the place and the food. And he just kind of showed his portfolio to me, and then we start to chit chat. And he asked me to join him to be his staff, his assistant. And then on that time, I thought my ego is quite high.
Yeah.
I'm a photographer already. Why should I be your assistant? But actually, that's really stupid because I'm young.
Yeah.
But, like I said, it's destiny. 1 year later, I moved the company from the magazine to the advertising agency. And then that company is closed down. So I got no job. I just called this guy again, the German guy.
Yeah.
You still need the staff to work with you. And then happened on that time, he just got opportunity to work with the big brand. And he desperately need the assistant. So it's perfectly timed that I call him and give him a call, and then I joined him. Since that time, I worked with him for 7 years. And that gave me the opportunity to travel the world.
Wow.
That's how
It is fate. That's pretty.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, do you still work with him now?
Nah,
Okay.
I worked with him for 7 years, and then I quit. I work on my own for now. It's almost 7 years or so.
Yeah.
Right.
What do you enjoy shooting the most?
I would say interior
Yeah.
and also food.
Do you photograph your own food?
Not really, because when I cook myself, I'm always really hungry. I want to eat it right away.
Yeah.
And you know, when the picture is not perfect, I'm not really want to photograph it.
Yeah.
I need some time to spend on. So if I cook food for myself and then I spend time to photograph it, the food is getting cold.
Yeah.
It's not good anymore. So most of the time I
true.
just
I see.
photograph on the job. My food never been photographed.
Yeah, because nowadays, like everybody,
Right.
like especially girls,
Right.
like, wait, don't eat yet. I need to take a
I know.
picture of the food. You know, it's a habit.
Yeah, I know. Let's
So-
camera eat first.
Yeah,
Yeah.
seriously. So, like I said, everybody has a camera now, and they can actually showcase their photos on applications such as Instagram, Facebook, or and the camera itself just keeps on getting easier and easier to use and a lot more user friendly. Some are so like crazily advanced, like you can just point and shoot. So does all of this make your job as a professional photographer a bit more difficult? Is it true that they said everybody can be a photographer, and I'm doing the air quote here?
And it's yes and no. All right. Yes, it's make my profession tougher because a lot of clients don't want to spend the money on the professional photographer anymore. They rather go with the Instagrammer and buy the picture from them and post on their page.
Yeah.
And no, I would say not everybody have own camera to be a good photographer. They can be a photographer, but they cannot be a good photographer.
Now, we need to talk about your cooking. Your
Okay.
cooking skills. Yay. Pickoff, do you still remember the dish that got you out of the competition? I'm sure you can't forget that moment or that dish like forever. It was manao ho, right?
Yeah.
That was a tough one, huh?
Really tough.
And that happens on this show a lot, right?
Right.
You guys have to deal with some weird ingredients or, ingredients that you have never heard of before in those mystery boxes. Do you personally enjoy that type of challenge, or are you more like the type of guy who enjoys staying in your own safe zone kind of guy?
I enjoy to be in the safe zone at home.
Yeah.
But on the competition, I have to admit that I really enjoy to challenge myself. I really enjoy the moment that I'm about to open the box. What is going to be inside, that make my heart beating so fast. So I love that moment.
And the mystery box from this season,
Right.
like we, even like us as the audience,
Right.
were like holding onto our seats because you guys had alligators as like an ingredient from the mystery box, and I'm like, how on earth would you know how to make or cook freaking alligator meat? Like seriously, like that's crazy. What are they gonna do next season? Because this season
Right.
was like,
It's really impressive. I'm like,
yeah.
Maybe
Well-
bears or horses.
Yeah. What were your favorite ingredients from the mystery box for the both of you? It could be either most surprising or your most favorite.
yeah, most surprise has to be alligator.
Right?
That's for sure. It's huge.
Yeah.
And it's different presentation, right? Normally
Yeah.
we have the ingredients in our box.
Yes, and we have to butcher it.
Right. But in our box, in our mystery box that week, when we open it, inside is like what the knife and the sharpener.
They have to
Yeah.
Yeah.
sharpen the knife first.
What the heck is it? You cannot cook anything out of a knife, right? But in front of us, I got a huge box, and that's alligator tails in there. I think that's the most surprise was.
The most surprise for me is the eggplant
What? Why?
because you have to cook it as a dessert.
Yeah. Oh,
It's almost
yeah.
impossible to cook the eggplant as a dessert. But they can do it. I can't believe it.
Lucky us that we don't have to, right?
Yeah, but we also sucked at it,
Yeah.
Well,
How do you think you have changed and grown from being a part of this show? Pick off.
I would not say I'm a different person, but so many things in my life have changed. Like I walk on the street, so many people recognize me, ask me to take a photo with, stuff like that. So it gave me a really good feelings. And one thing I really proud of is I can be inspiration for someone. Somebody like text me or DM me or said I'm his or her inspiration. That's gave me really good feelings. Right.
Now, หมอตั้มค่ะ do you still remember what happened on the show on May 6th?
yeah.
Lots of tears were shed on that day. And I watched it when it was televised live. I was rooting for you because you kept on improving.
Yeah.
And I was like, I just hope you keep on going because, I mean, even the judges were crying, right?
Yeah.
So looking back on that episode, how do you feel today watching yourself cry on TV, on national television for the whole world and the whole country to see? I mean, now it's on YouTube.
Yeah, I see. I can't watch it live. I have to watch it on YouTube. And when the times come when I have to cry, I have to pause it and, oh my God.
Getting ready for it mentally.
Yeah. But what I really like about that episode because I learned a lot from the show, like how to manage bizarre ingredient or how to clean. I always have the problem with the
Keep the kitchen clean.
yes. So I have a lot of opportunity to learn about this. What I'm really เสียดาย because there's just out of my reach to get the cookbook for my own. So that's really disappointing.
Yeah. So that was what was going through your mind, right, when you were out?
Yes.
Was it a shock?
Not a shock because when I know that I have to go to pressure test,
Yeah.
I know right away that day is my day. So I have already prepared.
One thing that I'm sure everyone agrees on is how fast you've improved on the show, just like I said earlier. Because week after week, it's like you ฆ่าไม่ตายอะ like you kept on coming back stronger.
Yeah.
And you started off, I mean, let's be honest, you started off not one of the strongest contestants.
I would say the underdog of the
you were the underdog. And you know what? People love to root for the underdog.
Yeah.
And you were determined and you kept on practicing and you surprised all the judges and everyone else with your dishes week after week. How did you manage to improve yourself like that?
The main key to improve myself is practice. I usually cooked just only for the dinner or sometimes for breakfast for myself. But when I'm in the competition, I have to practice more. I have to cook for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Maybe I have to cook snacks like bakery and put it in the box and put it to the hospital and let the nurse taste it.
Oh.
Yes.
So I've always wondered. So during the week, how many days of the week do you guys shoot for the show?
Like once a week, I think.
So the rest of the week, you guys are free.
Yeah.
So what do you guys do during those times? Do you research on weird ingredients and how to cook different types of food?
We do a lot of research.
Lots of those.
And a lot
And
of
experimenting.
Yes,
Wow.
experimenting. Yes.
We were so impressed because every single time you guys get some type of challenge, you managed to do it pretty well. And I always wonder, I'm like, do they just sit at home and practice all week?
We have to do all that.
And the most important things for us is to taste the ingredient before we cooked. Like you said before that when we watched the alligator tails, nobody could have ever cooked with it before.
Yeah.
But how can we cook it? We have to taste it. So maybe for me, I have to cut it just a little pieces and grill it first and have a taste before and then okay I can do it with this I can do it with this and then I do it.
What is the most valuable lesson you got from the show?
For me, it's like this is a lifetime's experience. No one can buy that. No one can take it away from you. It's really priceless for me. What I have learned from being this show is be brave, be honest, and be prepared.
Great answer.
Okay. And the most valuable lesson for me is do not do something that you don't know. I will explain that. I used to cook something that I never do it before, like on the eggplant episode, I do the red curry. I never do it before. And the result was horrible. Yeah. So what I have to do is I have to know more, study more to when I go back to the show, I know more. And when I know more, I have a good basic, I can do anything, you know. So don't do something that you don't know and you have to study more to know more.
Yeah, because one of the things we always hear from the judges are know your materials.
Yes.
Right.
ต้องรู้จักวัตถุดิบ
วัตถุดิบ
ให้ดี and that's important. All right, last questions for the both of you.
Okay.
What's the plan now? How are you going to balance doing your main career path and exploring the food career?
Of course, I will continue doing my profession as a photographer, and I'm chasing my dreams because I always said I want to have my own cooking show, and I'm doing it now.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah.
where can we watch it?
On YouTube, I have a YouTube channel, which is the channel is a little bit complicated now at the name. I will change it soon because
Okay.
my channel is like Sanya Tada Tanawong, which is my name and my last name. I will change it soon, so I will announce that after I change the name so people can easily find me.
Yeah, so stay tuned and follow your social media
Right.
in order
my
to...
Instagram, I have Sanya Golf Instagram and also Sanya Photography. I have 2 Instagram accounts.
Okay. And for me, like I said earlier, I be a doctor and be a chef. So I have 2 days for working on the OPD clinic and like 3 days or 4 days for working on the cookbooks and many more to come. Yes.
So Peakoff and Motam from MasterChef Thailand Season 2 will come back next week to talk more and also play more fun games with us that will help us to get to know them a little better. And of course, I'd like to invite all of you to play along with us. So please, on next Wednesday, join us here on We Need to Talk at the Standard Podcast. และถ้ารู้ว่าเพื่อนคนไหนรักภาษาอังกฤษชอบฟังภาษาอังกฤษหรือเรื่องราวที่น่าสนใจของเซเลบหลากหลายฝากแชร์เอพิโซดนี้ให้พวกเขาฟังกันด้วยนะคะ This is Bo Savitri วันนี้ไปก่อนนะคะสวัสดีค่ะ
สวัสดีค
สวัสดีครับ
The Standard Podcast. Eye-opening for your ears.